Welcome back. So, Florida and Toronto had a bit of a game tonight. And I think the score is accurate. I have seen some discussion online today about analytics. Analytics say, nope, the score fools you. But it doesn't matter. Like, the analytics are part of the picture. But in the end, so we have Bobrovsky at one end and Wall at the other end. Good Panthers forecheck to start. I have written that on, I think, every single game Florida's played this season. They're ridiculous with their forechecking. The Leafs are blocking, though, and there were no shots on net 2.5 minutes in. No whistles either. This was fast to start. It did not stay that way. A lot of one and done rushes both ways. There's a whiff by Matthews on a rush chance. Schmidt has a shot that's kicked aside. The Leafs rush. Domi has a backhander that saved. The shots are one apiece, 7 minutes into the period. Crossbar for Verhaeghe. Then there's a near miss by Sam Bennett. Nylander's then denied on a breakaway. William Nylander, I think, remains the best Maple Leaf in this series, and I don't know that it's close, although Tavares has had some good moments as well. Reinhart has a rush chance that's caught and held. The Leafs, there's an icing they have that's disagreed with by the fans, showing just how into it they are, although it's still early, isn't it? Ekblad has a shot blocker to side as the Panthers get some pressure. Things get pushed in a hole by Woll, and Marchand's involved. Hands up if you're surprised. You must be new to hockey if you're surprised. Shots are 8-2 for Florida with 8 minutes left. Woll is the reason this is staying scoreless at this point. Pacioretty has a 3-on-2 chance. That's kicked aside. Benoit fires one wide from the slot. Puck goes the other way at 14:38. Ekblad. And Florida had some chances before this one goes in, but Ekblad gets the goal. He goes blocker side from the right circle. Reinhart and Boquist with the assists because, Woll can't save all of them. The teams then trade rushes. The shots are 14-4 for the Panthers with 4.5 minutes left. The Panthers' work ethic really strong in this one. I thought they did a really good job of controlling things and making sure the Leafs didn't have a whole lot going on. Then with 1:43 left, there's an offensive zone penalty by Lundell. So not optimal if you're Florida, but their penalty kill's been pretty good, and the Leafs have had their struggles on the power play when it comes to playoff games and games 5 through 7 over the last however many years. So Matthews has a shot that's blocked. Puck's cleared. The Leafs struggle to set up. Nyes can't bury one in close. The Leafs cycle. It's cleared again. Shot attempts after the first period were 33-12 for Florida. So the fact it's only 1-0, a minor miracle. Second period, Panthers finish the kill. Then there's a post for Lawton. Puck's cleared out. Lundell fires one wide on a rush. Nylander has a rush chance that saved. Good forechecking by Florida leads to a press by the Panthers. Reinhart fires one wide there. The puck battles are being won by Florida along the boards. This has been a storyline throughout this series. That if the puck's in the corner, puck's along the boards, whoever's wearing that Florida jersey is very likely to get that puck. The Leafs get pinned down a bit, but they're blocking the path to the net pretty well at that point. Things get scrummy on an offside by the Leafs. Things would definitely heat up in that area. Shots are 3-2 Florida at 4 minutes. Ekman Larson has a one-timer that's held as the Leafs finally get some pressure. Things get pushed in a hold by Woll, and then at 6:08, Kulikov. It's a perfect tip by Lawton. Lawton puts it in his own net. Kulikov credited with the goal, Schmidt and Tkachuk with the assists. Nylander then has an end-to-end rush chance that's held. The shots are actually 7-5 for Toronto at 9 minutes. Pacioretty has a rush chance that's held. We get some pushing there. And then at 10:05, Boquist. It's a net feed that's tipped in on a turnover. Reinhart and Forsling with the assists. So now Florida has a 3-0 lead. Domi wants a fight. Instead, Tkachuk says no because they're up 3-0. And then Domi takes a penalty as the play gets going. So Domi a little bit too worked up. Bad move there. So there's a near miss for Barkov and close. Puck's cleared. Another clear. They end up killing that off. No damage done. One shot on net, but they're still down by a score of 3-0. Leafs press with 7 minutes left. They're kept to the outside. The Leafs are double shifting their top lines at this point. And then at 14:01, Mikkola blasts one glove side on a turnover. Lundell and Luostarinen with the assist. So this again is Florida's forcing those turnovers. They're getting to those pucks. And they're getting the saves where Toronto isn't, is the storyline in this one. It's now 4-0 in favor of the Florida Panthers. And I put right here, this series looks to be over. Like, Toronto's at home. They need this win desperately tonight, and they're down 4-0. There's no excuse. These fans have paid a ton of money to come out and watch Toronto play tonight, and this is the reward for those fans. I honestly feel bad for fans who paid for this, because They really did not get their money's worth. Unless you're a Florida fan, in which case you were probably pretty darn happy to be there and watching it live. Panthers press for another, and I put fans who paid a fortune to watch live start booing. And if Bobrovsky sees it, he saves it. We get more boo birds at the horn, and the shutout streak for Bobrovsky at that point was 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 31 seconds. By the end of this, he does set a new record for playoff shutout streak, passing Van Beesbroek's record. But anyways, we get to the third period with the score 4-0. Early jump fight for Florida. The Leafs rush by Nyes is saved. That draws an early power play. Matthews has a screenshot that saved. Puck's cleared out. The Panthers forecheck. There's another clear, and then we get 16 seconds of 4-on-4 as Domi takes an offensive zone penalty. Max Domi, his own worst enemy in this one tonight. The Panthers struggle to set up when they get the power play on the other side of it. Then there's a post and out for Matthew Tkachuk. Lindell fires one wide. Everything gets killed off there. So Florida presses briefly after it ends. The shots are actually 4-1 Toronto at 5 minutes. Line juggling as Berube's looking for a winning formula, and at 6:23, this is an example of how this game went. The puck hits McCabe in the side of the face, drops on the ice right to Greer, who buries it. Just adding insult to injury. So at 6:23, it's Greer from Gadjevich and Schmidt. So 5-0 at that point in favor of Florida. Murray takes over at that point. It's a mercy pull for Woll. I don't know how many of those he's supposed to save. And I don't think if they'd started Murray tonight, this would have gone better either. In fact, if anything, you probably get goals earlier in this game for Florida. So we get a power play for the Panthers. Jones has a shot that's gloved aside. Reinhardt's unable to bury in close. Puck's held. And then Bennett. It's a face-off that's kind of a bit of a scrambly face-off in Florida. It's in the offensive zone, so you forecheck to get it. And Bennett scores at 9:10 from Ekblad and Marchand. It's unconventional for a power play goal, but it's a power play marker, and it's 6-0 for the Florida Panthers, and that's what sends fans to the exits. So you've got fans who paid a ton going to the exits with 11 minutes almost left in the game. I think those people should have been told, if you'd like to have some kind of a refund or something. This is one of those things where the team should do something for the fans for having to endure this. You got a ticket stub or you got a ticket on your phone from tonight, you get something free somewhere would be, and I mean this, like, this was embarrassing. Shots are 7-5 Panthers with 8.5 minutes left, showing that they had taken over at this point. And I was keeping up on Money Puck. The deserve to win-o-meter was like 66% for Toronto after the second. By the end of this game, it did favor Florida. So, toe save on Tavares and close. Things get punchy and a hold by Murray. The Leafs emerge from that with a power play. Boo Birds after a Panthers clear, and the Leafs are kind of struggling to get set up again. Things get punchy and a hold by Bobrovsky, and the penalty boxes are filling up, because that's the kind of game we had tonight in this one. The Panthers do finish the kill. The Leafs press with 4 minutes left. Toronto's looking to break the goose egg. At 18:54, Robertson scores from Domi and Lorentz. Now, what's interesting is this being showed as a power play goal. Maybe with all the shenanigans that were going on, this was a power play marker. I don't think so. I don't think it was. But anyways, so celebrate with punching, because of course, and that was scored glove side. The longest playoff drought or playoff shutout streak was set by Bobrovsky with this. And the Panthers have a power play after the goal, so they wind down the clock and things get kind of punchy at the horn. So yeah, 6-1 win. The No Mercy Magnet is on the board for the first time in this round, I do believe. And it's the absolute worst case scenario now for Toronto. They have to go to Florida and win. And then if they do, then they have to come back for a Game 7. We know Toronto's record in Game 7s over the years. So it's a 6-1 win for Florida. The shots, 13-6 Florida in the first, 14-11 Toronto in the second, 12-8 Toronto in the third. Both teams had 32 shots in this game. According to the app, both teams were 1 for 4. I'm going to go ahead and make that an 0 for 4 for Toronto. Nah, you know what? I'll just leave it as a for 4. It doesn't matter. The hits, 54-49 in favor of Florida. Bobrovsky, 31 saves on 32 shots. He was fantastic. Woll, 20 saves on 25 shots. Has to be better in the next game. I don't think Stolarz is coming back in this series. Murray saved 6 out of 7 in relief. He was fine. It's Matt Murray. He was fine. And so we'll see how things go for game number 6. I think this series is done. I don't see Toronto going into Florida and winning on Friday. I want to be wrong. I 100% want to be wrong. It just feels like Florida flipped the switch when they were down in game 3-1, and they came back and won that game. It feels like ever since then, Florida's been controlling it. It has been very Florida the way that these games have gone, and it is very difficult to flip that switch back. I say that as a Bruins fan that watched it back in 2023 when Boston had a 3-1 series lead and blew it against Florida. And it was a very similar feeling that I'm getting from this series here. Once Florida won that game 3, it felt like that momentum was all theirs. Toronto wasn't able to get a goal in the 4th game. They get 1 goal tonight. Unless their big names find a way to find the back of the net, their series is done in 6. Their season is done in 6. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.